Is it expensive to live in Berlin? If you clicked this video, you're probably thinking about to relocate in this city, or you're just curious about how much money it costs to live in the capital of Germany. I'm going to share with you my personal experience, how much money I spend on the regular basis living in Berlin. And in this video, I'm going to break down all the numbers for renting, for public transport, how much money it costs to have a cat, and also how much money I invest. And you, in the meantime, can share with me if you are going to relocate yourself to Berlin, already maybe living here, or just out of curiosity watching this video. Would be really interesting to know. And before I start explaining you how much money it costs for me to live in Berlin, I want to clarify what is my financial situation, because before spending money we need to earn money. And I can say that I live in Berlin and work here as a marketing manager at Audible, that is a part of Amazon company, as the full-time employee. I'm employed there more than 5 years already. And with that said, I move on to the expenses part. I have a few sections of all my expenses going into the different buckets, and I always start from the essentials, so meaning everything that is required for my day-to-day life is going to have the specific budget. And let's start from the renting apartment. I can say that I pay right now fairly low price for my living conditions. I pay around 750 euro per month for 2 rooms apartment in the center of Berlin. And the reason why I have this offer, that's because I moved here more than 8 years already, and I signed up the contract before all the landlords started increasing the renting price for the properties. But if I would, for example, relocate myself into similar apartment right now, into the same area, I would find the opportunities to move in with the price around 12 or 1400 euro per month. That is almost twice as much as I'm paying right now. We're talking about living, of course, I need to include the expenses that I have for utilities. So on my renting price, I have everything included, like warm water, heating system, basically everything that my landlord does for keeping the house and the building in the nice and clean conditions. But apart from that, on the monthly basis, pay the bill for the electricity, for home internet, and also for my mobile internet and Wi-Fi. Approximately it costs me around 125 euro per month. Another part of the essentials budget goes to food. I usually spend on regular basis 200 to 300 euro per month. It heavily depends on your lifestyle and your diet in general. For the vast majority of the cases, I cook by myself. I just like to eat clean food and make sure that I have all the ingredients and nutrients that I need for the healthy lifestyle. On top of the monthly budget for the food, I also have a monthly budget for the cleaning supplies. I usually go to Rossmann or DM to buy everything I need for my household, and usually it costs me around 20-25 euro. Also, I want to share with you how much it costs for me to pay for my fitness membership, and that's again the dinosaurs situation here, because my contract has been signed up, I don't know how many years, I think 2019, so more than 5 years already. So that's why I pay really cheap membership fee. It's 20 euro per month, and I have the studio like 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes away from my apartment. That makes it so easy for me to convince myself to go for some trainings. And also recently I just completed my tennis coaching classes, so I had a coach and I had the session once a week, and for a single person it costs 46 euro per session. But if you are 2 people who are joining the same session, you can split that by 2 or by 3, by 4 people. If you have the group, of course it costs you around 10 euro for the coaching session. But moving on to the next expenses that I also have as an essential expenses, because it occurs every single month and I cannot cancel that, it's the TV and radio tax. Yes, Germany has this strange tax. I still have indeed my TV, so that's why I really use that. So I pay 18 euro 50 cents per month, and it's mandatory for every household in Germany. Additional to that, also a very essential expense in my budget, it's of course the expenses for my cat. I pay for the health insurance for my cat 28 euro per month. And you might ask why I'm not counting my personal medical insurance here in the essential part, but if you don't know, actually the medical insurance here in Germany is pre-calculated from the brutto, so gross salary, and it's being deducted right before it hits my account. If you are liking this information and these details, I'm going to make it way clear for you very soon, so stay tuned. And one more essential expense that I have on a regular basis is my public transport. I have the Deutschland's ticket that costs me 58 euro per month, and literally it's the benefit that I get from my employees, so they are paying for my commuting ticket. I can definitely say that I use this card quite often, and of course as it's summer right now, I can already travel a bit more without paying any extra euro if I use the regular regional trains. But with that said, that's it what I have for the essential expenses on the regular basis, and based on the data that I have for the previous half of the year, I can say that I spent approximately 12 or 1400 euro per month for all the essential part that I just listed and share with you on the more detailed view. Of course, it may vary from one month to another, but if you ask me at any point of time how much money I need to live 1 month, I know for sure what's the sum. And that's basically the habit that I introduced to myself really many years ago, tracking my money, and I'm going to share with you how I build this healthy relationship with money, and I have a good overview about my money flows in the separate video. But my salary doesn't only go to the essential stuff, it also goes for entertainment. So I'm going to share with you what are the prices for different activities that I have on different months, so you can get your impression on how much it costs to have an entertaining life in Berlin, not just covering your essential stuff, but also enjoying the outside activities that are available here. Let me start from eating out. As I said, I cook majority of the time at home, but indeed I see my friends quite often in the cafes, so that's why I usually every single weekend I go somewhere to get some coffee and cake, Kaffee und Kuchen, that's how it's called in German. Sometimes I go also for some dinners, but usually it's not the heavy lift for my budget, so it's around 50 euro, maybe 150 euro. It depends if it's the summer. Of course, I tend to go out more, not only for cafes, but also for dinners, for some cocktails along the river side, for example. But if it's winter, of course, I tend to stay more at home or seeing each other on our places and having some tea, coffee, or some game nights together. On beauty processes, I go regularly. I do my manicure and pedicure. I can say that per procedure it costs around 60-70 euro. Of course, it depends on the studio where exactly you go. The haircut prices, I would say it's 40-60 euro for my lens, for example. Recently I was doing the haircut for 60 euro, but again, it depends on the location, on the level of service they have. I'm pretty sure you can find the lower price, I'm pretty sure you can find the higher prices. I really enjoy going to the cinema, so the cost per ticket may vary from 8 euro to 18 euro. And yes, I like art, so that's why I even have the annual ticket for all the museums that we have here in Berlin, for all the states museums. For any additional or private collections exhibition, I need to pay separately, but I have the 25 euro annual ticket, and it's being already paid off even during my first few months of having this ticket, just because every single visit to the museum costs, again, starting from 8 to maybe 16-18 euro per museum, but with that card during the certain hours I can enter the museum basically for free. And the fun part, of course, includes the traveling budget, but I won't share with you any specific numbers, because just simply it depends on the destination, on the duration on my vacation, also on the overall plan, how I want to spend the time. Is it going to be a chill vacation or exploration vacation? It's heavily dependent on the preferences, so that's why I cannot really say how much I spend on regular basis. But indeed, for a year I usually have a forecast of money, how much I allow myself, I give myself to spend on the traveling budget. But let me share about that forecasting exercise of your personal budget in the separate video. I promise it's going to be interesting and insightful. But if we exclude the traveling budget from the fun expenses bucket, on regular basis I can summarize that I spend approximately 200 to 300 euro per month on the fun part. As I said, it's more on the summertime, less on winter time, but if we cross the line and just call the average number, it's usually 200-300 euro per month. Additional to that, I also have the long-term or expensive purchases. It includes all the clothes, cosmetics, furniture, devices. I really balance it. Some months I invest more money on my closet, sometimes I spend more money on my furniture, sometimes I need to equip myself with a new device or anything related to the long-term use items. But if you would ask me to name the number, I would say it's approximately 500 euro across the year, because it includes like purchasing the laptop that is pretty expensive, but not purchasing much in the following months. And the rest, what I have left from my monthly income, I usually allocate to my investment portfolio and also to my savings account. But before you move to the other videos that are already available on my channel, I want to share with you what is an average number according to the overall statistics. For people who lives in Berlin, they spend on average 2,850 euro per month, including all the expenses that I just listed. Feel free to share with me, how do you think, is it a lot or not much for the life in the capital of Germany? Let's see each other in my next episode, and take care. See you very soon. Bye bye.